guys, it's Weather with Jonathan here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the potential for a humongous blizzard to slam the Northeast, which is currently slamming the Northeast, and the potential for some very strong severe weather outbreak in the South, the potential for a polar vortex that could potentially break loose and cause very, very, very cold temperatures, and the potential for that atmospheric river to keep slamming the West Coast. I'm going to be going over all of this in your forecast. So starting off with what's happening around the U.S., so you can see what's currently happening. You can see we have that blizzard that is still hammering the West Coast. Well, the storm that is still hammering the West Coast, and then that blizzard in the Northeast. And yes, we did have a blizzard in the mountains of the Sierras or California, and then that rain and clouds are going to start hitting up in Portland, Oregon later this evening. So that's what's happening there. Now let's take a look at our NWS hazards. You can see those winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in the pink across much of the mountainous areas, and then those winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings all in the Northeast, and actually some freeze watches and freeze warnings in much of the Dixie Valley and the Southeast. So that's what's happening there. Then we have a bunch of wind advisories across much of the country. So that's what's happening there. Now let's take a look at our rainfall that could happen over the next couple of days in California. So they're actually going to be just absolutely hammered today. And so that's what's happening there. That rainfall isn't really going to shift too north into places like Salem, Oregon, Eugene, Portland, Seattle, Olympic, those areas until we get to about March 19th. You can see those rainfall totals start accumulating in the northwest, and then this is when they get that big rainstorm in the northwest. So we have to watch out for this. The rainfall has been decreasing just a little bit, but we're going to see that atmospheric river continue to actually strengthen for over and in the next couple of days and weeks, and maybe even next month. So you can see we have that two high risks for flash flooding. One in the southern portion there of the Sierras, and one along the Santa Cruz coast and down through Los Angeles. So anywhere in the pink, that's a high risk. Anywhere in the red is a moderate. Anywhere in the yellow is a slight. And anywhere in the dark green is a marginal. So that's your probability of flash flooding. So that's what's happening there. Now we need to take a look at our severe weather, and this one is gonna be a big one. So those dew points are gonna start reaching up into the upper Midwest, because as we head out into later in springtime and spring, it's those dew points just shift north because it gets warmer in the planet, and so it's gonna eventually start reaching into the upper Midwest. So you can see we need I just want to show you our little bit of cape, because we do have some, not the most I've ever seen, but we definitely do have some. I think the biggest chance we have for tornadoes is probably going to be in and around the Dallas area, because that's where we have the most rich dew points, which will allow convection and supercells to fire up, and we have the most cape there. So when you get the cape, that's like fuel for a car. If the storms eat that, that's what gives them that energy to produce tornadoes and that kind of stuff. Now let's look at this storm that I am actually pretty concerned about. For March 23rd, we could actually have severe weather all the way up into places like Iowa and maybe even Minnesota. So that could really definitely produce some weather, and we need to watch out for that. So yeah. So let's take a look at our severe weather risk for day 3. This is going to be have all hazards: tornadoes, wind, and hail. So supercells are likely going to fire up. I would my now listen, you guys. I just want to say right now, my actual my tornado risk would be centered over about this area. That would be my tornado risk. So if you guys live in this black circle, you guys should be aware of the potential for a couple, maybe a tornado. So a strong tornado is definitely not likely at all, but a couple tornadoes could happen. So we need to be aware of that. So this is where I think we could have the potential for the most tornadoes. So now let's take a look at our NAM model for that snowstorm / blizzard in the Northeast. You can see that snow is really going to start getting heavy on Long Island and the coast of Maine. And on the coast of Maine, that's where we could see coastal flooding and homes ripped apart because of wind and snow, and actually waves. So yeah, and that snow is not going to get out of your guys' hair until about March 16th. So you guys really need to just I hope you guys are safe, because that is not good. So after that snow finally moves out, it's going to take a while, but eventually that another system will come in, and it's just going to lead to a bunch of snow and a very snowy pattern for just much of the country over the next couple of days. And we could actually see another big system impact the Northeast around the 28th. And I just want to give you a look at our, I'll show you right now here. But that's our snowfall totals for the Northeast. And some snow in the Southeast is definitely possible, but I wouldn't really expect that. That's only in like North Carolina and South Carolina. So that's gonna be probably pretty rare. So I just wanted to show you our freezing rain totals. So yeah. So now let's take a look at our temperatures, because I didn't mention that this polar vortex was gonna break loose, and it's gonna not be doing some good stuff. But before I get into all of this, I just want to show you guys. You can see that we're gonna get some really warm temperatures in the West Coast, and they're really gonna start warming up, upwards of 60 degrees. Where I live, finally, it could reach upwards of 60 degrees. And then this is our little polar vortex that's going to break loose. But that's not just the main one, okay? So we have that polar vortex also breaking loose in the east after that. Blizzard temperatures could reach 20 degrees, so that is very cold. Things will start warming up a little bit for you guys, but then we have this possibly even Alberta Clipper. I wouldn't say it is, because it doesn't really completely have. It has precipitation, but it's not like precipitation. So we still need to be aware of that. So I just want to tell you guys, if you guys live in the West Coast, you guys are really gonna start warming up in temperatures. So just heads up about that. It's gonna stay cold, but you guys are finally gonna start warming up a little bit in temperatures, and especially in the East Coast, it's really gonna start warming up, and that's when we could actually have the potential for 90-degree weather in the plains. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you our temperatures. That's our temperatures, and it's gonna listen. It'll take a while to warm up in the West Coast, but it definitely is. So yeah. So thank you guys for coming and watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for all my supporters out there, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.